Hi everyone, welcome to our next Advent picture, and we have this cute little gingerbread man. Now he is dressed in clothing, but I'm thinking because he's made of icing, I think everything could be quite thick with regards to the his icing, and we could put some shine on after. So let's make a start on his body. So I'm looking for this sort of gingerbread colour to start with. I'm going to use the burnt sepia just as a little base, starting base, and then we'll go from there. Now it's quite good to try and have some texture in this. If I'm doing it lightly, you can see the paper through, which is quite handy. You could do him wearing gloves if you wanted, but I think I can do those and the feet as if they're the gingerbread. You could do it them black shoes or something if you wanted. I'm also going to do these bits as if they're crumbs. I think that's what the idea is. If it isn't, it isn't, but that's how I see it. And now, just to brighten it a bit, I'm going to use the light yellow ochre on top of what we've done already. Now I do have a fabulous tutorial for gingerbread where you put in little dips and cracks and things, and it just looks spectacular. That is Jennifer Zimmerman's book. I think I mentioned her book yesterday. Secrets of Colouring 2. She has lots of sweet treats and things. So she has like the lollies like we did yesterday, these. She has a candy cane. She has the gingerbread, gummy bears, candied corn, I think. I'm not quite sure what else, but that's all quite fun. Now the eyes I'm actually going to do, and the buttons, I think black. I don't know whether that is right, but I also think they should be black on a gingerbread man. There we go. Now his little suit, I was thinking, oh, let's do his hat in red because it's a Christmas hat, it's going to be red, and then we can think about, yeah, dark red. We could make the hand scarf match. Now, icing, it's shiny, so it wants to shine. What I'm going to do is make it really intense, and then I'm going to use a white pen to make the shine. If you don't have a white pen, do this. Colour it and leave a white gap like that. That isn't the right place for the shine, but you can do that instead. Now the bobble and the brim, I would want him white icing, so I'm going to leave them for a minute. Now I'm thinking red scarf, red top, red trousers, red scarf, oh, and red mouth. Now I'm using the same shade of red. It might seem lazy, it probably is, but I'm also thinking that if you're icing something, you don't make up lots and lots of different batches of colour. You usually only have a limited few. I do anyway. So I usually only have one, to be honest. So you would tend to do things the same colour as each other to save you having to make up lots of different batches of colour, lots of different colour icing basically. I've never iced a gingerbread man. I only ever ice cupcakes, and I used to tend to use, I would usually use either white buttercream, or I'm thinking green clothing with a white trim. Just choosing the green, juniper green I'm going to go for. Yeah, I used to either use white, like vanilla buttercream, but I used to find that when I put vanilla extract into the buttercream, it make it go brown, which was quite nasty, sort of slightly brown, like it looked a bit dirty. So I would tend to get some pink food colouring to mix in with it so that you couldn't see the brown. And or I would, if I flavoured with chocolate, I would just sometimes melt some chocolate or put cocoa powder into my buttercream, and then it would colour itself. Oh, he looks very festive. I always associate red and green with Christmas. Though nowadays there's all sorts of colours. There was some really pretty orange, orange, copper and bronze decorations I was looking at this morning. They look so nice, but I think you would have to do like your whole room with that colour, you know, and we tend to have more red and green things. I'm just trying to tidy this up a bit. There we go. I'm wondering what to do with the white, because I think I am going to just leave it. I've gone out of the lines and do my background and then have a think about whether it works or not, and that sort of thing. Now background. So we've got our blue, we've got our sort of pinky orange, salmony colour, we've got an orange there. We could do a green. We haven't done a green background for ages. Like just a different, a lighter green maybe. Yeah, I think that would work. I'm going to start with the light green. Here is our light green. You can't see. It's Ian. Now when I do these Santa hats, normally I would do some sort of fluffy trim on them because I think it looks pretty, and a fluffy bauble like I did on the bobble hat. But because this is a cookie, it's not going to be fluffy, it's going to be flat and shiny. So I'm not going to be doing any. My pencil's going making funny colour. I think it'll be alright. Here, can you see it's got these sort of marks in it? That isn't my colouring. That's where there's a dark, extra dark pigment in it, and it's just showing up when I'm colouring. That doesn't happen very often with Polychromos. I have it happen a lot in chartreuse in my Prismacolors, and I know there's a luminance colour that's a sort of mustardy colour that does it as well, and I have it happen a lot more in cheaper pencils. Right, I'm going to go into my darkest colour now, which is the leaf green. I'm going to go into the corners, this one. And then a bit less as we go in, and we will use the grass green, I think it is, to blend it into the leaf green. Sorry, to blend it into a light green. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, by the time you see this video, the train strikes might be over. They're threatening strike between the 1st and the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's quite a long time ago. Grass green. No, 9th. 1st and the 9th. I think it's going to be a complete nightmare for my kids getting to uni, which is very annoying. My son's got, one boy's got work during that week, but fortunately these days you don't have to hand work in person like you did in my day. You do it online. We used to have to hand it into an office, and they would give you like a receipt slip that you would keep, so that you could prove you'd handed it in. So each piece of work would have a sort of cover page. I'm going back to the light green to just tidy it all up. And you would fit out all the details on the very front sheet, and then there'd be a little tear off slip which just you filled out as well with just a few details, and whoever was in the office would sign it for you and hand it back so you could prove you'd handed it in. Oops. So there wasn't late, because I think they always said if things were more than a certain amount late, they would start knocking marks off, but I don't ever notice it happening. But they do now. I think lecturers used to find it difficult to do that, but the computer does it now. If you hand it in late, the computer registers it as late, and then when the mark's put in, it knocks them off. So it's a bit easier for staff to do it, because it must be hard sometimes to punish someone, particularly if you know they've been struggling or whatever. Now, I'm going to get my white pen and start to do a few bits and pieces. This is my Gellyroll 8. I want some shine on our hat. Oops. That's not very good. We'll get there. With them, you need to wait for it to dry so that you can you know, yeah, if you don't wait for it to dry, you just take off the paint that you've put on. Okay, I think that will do. I'm wondering whether to just tidy up this a bit, because I've gone over it accidentally with pencil. If I put a bit of white in there, it'll hide that a bit. Yeah, in the book that I was telling you about, Jennifer Zimmerman, she tells you how to do the white, and she doesn't actually do it as white. She does it with purple and greys and things, and it just looks super. I'm going to leave mine like that because I'm happy with that myself. I'm wondering whether to put any white in the background, but no, I'm going to leave it. I think he's rather cute as is. So hopefully he looks like he's got shiny, shiny icing. That was the plan anyway. So there we go, a little bit of a short and simple one today, but that gives you a bit more time for making your Christmas cake or stirring your Christmas pudding or whatever you might be doing. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.